Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
There's no better feeling than a personal win. And the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
I got a note for you. Breaking news.
I am ready, sir.
Breaking news on the horse Justify.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Well, frequent emailer Kelsey said that, he's an orphan. You said he's an orphan.
I said he's an orphan. He is an orphan.
And now
he's
requesting now that other horses call him Heinrich.
Because, okay. By the way...
And today would have been John Mariucci's 102nd birthday.
Really?
Happy birthday, Johnny
I
Maruch.
wrote a column 2 years ago on Maruch's 100th birthday that was fantastic because I have always said, if you could take me back in time anywhere as a sports writer, it would be Cortina, Italy, 1956, the night Maruch beats Canada to go to the gold medal game in Cortina, Italy.
That would have been
coach
fun.
in 56. And I would have still been drinking. Okay, I wouldn't want to be sober, Pat. I would want to be hard drinking, Pat, to try to keep up with Maruch on the night that he beat the hated Canadians.
Yep.
He hated the Russians. I mean, he hated the Canadians a lot more than he hated the Russians. Because they were getting those Tier 1 juniors down here to play against them. But I got to tell you my favorite Maruch story. They're flying over to Cortina on a plane that includes the figure skating team, the hockey team and the figure skating team. And they have been training in the same place, I believe, in Colorado Springs. So Maruch knows all the figure skaters, right? Mm-hmm. And this one young gal that Maruch knows comes by and he kind of squeezes her on the arm or something like that. And some little figure skating coach comes roaring up out of the back of the plane, "You big brute, keep your hands off her," and blah, blah, blah. And Maruch threatens to kill him. And that's on the plane. Well, they get off the plane, they patch it up. And the guy turns into Maruch's drinking buddy for the next dinner, and they're just carousing all over Cortina. The figure skaters skate, and the hockey players play, and then him and Maruch go out and have the time of their lives. I guess it was great. So
that's back when the Olympics were the Olympics.
Yes, they were. Well, we had 8 sports.
Yeah.
And then they could fly on one plane, basically, to get the team over there. They didn't invent all these goofy
Who'd they lose
sports.
to in the gold medal game?
Russia beat them.
Oh, yeah.
The first time Russia won.
That's the first time, huh?
Yep. They were just starting. I believe it was the first. They were just starting to become the powerhouse. But the U.S. beat Canada. And John Manisic, I think, had the first goal. Was it Johnny? Somebody flipped the puck up in the air, and the goalie from Canada lost it in the lights, and it went in over his back and fell in, and the U.S. And they ended up winning the game. So anyway,
Tom Brady has sunk a little on my.
What did he do now?
Well, he and the wife.
Okay.
They showed up yesterday at the Met Gala. That's the biggest party of the year in the fashion world.
Okay,
it's at the New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay.
Museum of Art.
Yes.
I will say this about
Fashion Week right now. Is it Fashion Week?
It has nothing to do with Fashion Week. It's the oddest story I've ever seen. It was a celebration called Heavenly Bodies, Fashion, and the Catholic Imagination. And so these, Katie Price types are showing up dressed in provocative clothing. You got Cardinal Dolan standing there.
Okay.
I don't get
but
the
we're
whole...
raising money for Catholic charities or something like that.
I'll tell you this, though, about Giselle.
Yes.
She knows how to be photographed.
Okay. She's looking.
Knows how to be photographed.
Okay.
But he is wearing, and you had to really come up with goofy stuff to wear. He's wearing a Barocco embroidered Versace suit with gold designs on the lapels. And the Twitter users went crazy and said he looks like a dragon slayer or an accountant for a mariachi band or the villain in a James Bond movie. Because it's the damnedest.
Well, you know who picked it out for him. It wasn't him. Giselle made him wear it, of course.
I like the accountant for a mariachi band.
Let me see the picture. Let me see how he's looking.
Yeah, it's the Met Gala.
That's a big gala, isn't it, man?
It really is.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be even worse.
If you were tasked...
I've always been partial to those type of dresses, though.
The one Giselle's wearing?
The leg, where the one leg is...
You get a little shot of the leg?
Yeah. Get the leg, yeah. I've always been... Well, when on supermodels, I've always thought those look good on supermodels.
I'm wondering too, Joe and Rick, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but if you were tasked with the job of being an accountant for a mariachi band, what kind of budget are you working with?
Pretty slim, huh?
Yeah, it's probably not that grand.
I don't know. Yeah,
what's our income?
You'd have to
$46.
You'd have to drop them off at the Mexican restaurant. I love Mexican food. It's one of my favorites. But I can't tell you how many times I've turned around and walked out when they had a band in there.
Well, what year was
going
it?
To go to the table, and you had to give them. I remember once giving them $5 when I walked in and said, "Don't come to our table.
Just
Here's
stop playing.
$5. Yeah.
Stay away."
What year was it, Pat, that we got you to dress? Was it Teresa's?
Teresa's about 2-3 years ago. We
for your
were the
birthday.
sombrero.
Here's a guy who took a look at Brady's outfit and says he looks like a Vegas magician who performs in the back of a discount hot tub showroom. Here's another one said he looks like the inside of a fancy hotel.
Yeah, but he's got Giselle standing next to him, so that's that's
and
good.
we don't.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good right there. So
you can have her.
Really?
Oh, well, why not?
Well, the thing about her is, Tom's playing to age 42. He's not doing it for the money. She makes more than he does.
Right.
So he's, I think their children want for nothing. That's what I think.
Yeah. What about your twins,
You don't think
Patrick?
the parents are putting together a vacation going,
It's over.
boy, I
Hey,
wonder...
look who finished up. Look who gets the hold. Husey finished up. 7-1. They win today. I didn't get to watch the entire game today, gentlemen. But yesterday, they played perfect baseball.
Really?
Perfect in the field. Made every play. Eddie Rosario made a game-saving play right off the bat. They played great in the field. They moved the runners around when they had their scoring chances, except for when Bobby Wilson tried to score, and Bobby's speed is not his.
I'm sorry, but he's now my guy, Bobby Wilson.
Bobby Wilson was tried to score, and they pitched like crazy. They really played great, and they couldn't have played too bad today because the Cardinals sent their ace out after them, and they win 7-1.
So now they're only 2 games under 500.
Yes, 15-17, 5 in a row.
Pat, Joe brought this up earlier, and he's 100% right. It's not a coincidence that they're playing better with Miguel Sano, not with the club.
I didn't say that necessarily.
Well,
I said
I'm sorry,
it won't break my heart if I don't see him again.
Well, here's the deal. The problem is they signed Morrison to be their DH, which means they cannot then use Miguel full-time at the only position that he can play, which is DH. Because you are so much better with Escobar playing third and Adrianza or whoever playing short. It's not even close. There's no sense in having that big lug in the field. He's a DH. And they thought having him play in the field would cause him to get in better shape. Since they did that, he's gained 25 or 30 pounds. So, no. Yeah.
Muscle? No, maybe not.
Is he
Just
just
like this?
This muscle right
is
here.
he just a voracious
You know,
eater?
they call this Cinderella fat. That's what Miguel says.
Is he just a big eater?
I have no idea. I think he might like his craft beers too. I don't know.
Maybe a late night ice cream.
I don't know what he does. I have no idea what he does.
Maybe he just has bad metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Always on the go, eating at different hours.
Yes,
you're on the road.
It could be.
But not a lot of guys gain weight during the season.
An athlete should not have a metabolism problem, should he? He should be getting that thing going, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep, 24/7.
Okay, so finish your thought. If DH is where he should be, what's going to happen? You got Morrison to do that.
I have no idea what they're going to do. You won't see him for a month. You know,
well, Reavers pointed out they went on the streak at the end of last year when he was in the lineup.
They had started playing okay in August, but he left in the middle of August, and they were better. Escobar was fantastic. Escobar's a hell of a player. Mm-hmm. And, you just, when a ground ball is hit to that side of the infield, now you don't think it's going to get through because the guy can't move to his left. If it gets through, it's a legitimate hit. Mm-hmm. With Escobar playing third, that's his best position, too. He can play some short.
See the catch Rosario made last night?
Yeah, terrific.
Unbelievable. He took a home run away from the guy.
He's something. Mm-hmm. Show and go, baby.
So no Buxton, no Sano.
No problem.
No problem.
No. Buxton will be activated and play Thursday. My guy Ryan Lamar will probably end up getting sent back.
You know what I love, though, about Big Bobby Wilson? You said this earlier. He's going up there looking for one pitch in one zone, and he's hacking, baby.
Well, last night he was smart enough to know all he needed to do was hit a sacrifice fly, and if he sat there and took strike one, he'd never get a pitch to hit. So he just waited, and boom, he got a pitch, and all he wanted to do was hit a fly ball, and he did it. So he's a character. I had a couple of talks with him in spring training. He's been around forever, and he's a beauty. And looks like a catcher.
Rook, why don't you take us to a quick break?
I can do that.
Winnipeg couldn't get it done at home.
Oh, got whopped 4-0. I'm pessimistic now. Go Jets, but I don't know.
Yeah, they got to play at Nashville now. Game 7 Thursday night.
Did you guys see
Are you
Roenick?
going? Are you going to any of the games, Reeves?
No, not this round.
Okay.
Did you guys see Roenick, by the way?
No.
He was dressed in the all-white garb, white face paint with the giant wig last night in the crowd.
For the Jets?
Yeah, for the Winnipeg Jets.
He never played there.
I don't think so.
He's
just trying to fit in, be part of the
Okay.
atmosphere, that whole deal.
Well, yeah, it's too bad. They would have been nice, but Nashville's better than them. But Game 7, historically, the home team is about 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Well, and they haven't. Was that their first loss in that building in the postseason?
Postseason, I don't know. Well, they didn't lose to this team, so.
Washington was able to close it out in Pittsburgh.
What a streak. What was the streak? 16 games that Washington teams had played that they could have advanced to either a conference final that they lost. All the 4 teams. The 16 games, the Nationals, the Wizards, the Redskins, and the Caps had played where, if you win, you advance to a conference final or a league final. They'd lost them in a row.
Isn't this the first time the Caps have been in the conference final since 91?
98, I thought.
98?
98, yes. And they've had some bad losses. And one coach who was in on many of those.
They probably weren't even in 20.
Brucey.
One coach was in on several of those was Brucey, yes. So quite a comeback, considering the Caps started this run by losing the first 2 at home, right? In the first round? Mm-hmm. Who beat them who beat them 2 in a row at home to start the last round? They lost the first 2 at home because I remember taunting Chris Long
Was it
about
the Devils?
No, it wasn't the
I can't
Devils.
remember.
Devils got beat by the Lightning. Bad. So,
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, we have to know that.
yeah, they lost their first 2 games at home, and I'm not sure against
It
them.
wasn't Philadelphia.
Was it? Not sure.
Reeves is looking it up.
Don't know.
Columbus.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets.
Yes, Columbus. They lost the first 2 at home, right?
Mm-hmm. The Penguins beat the Flyers. That's who played the Flyers.
Yep. How'd the Wild come out? I can't remember. How'd that one come out?
No.
It was a fun night in Winnipeg, though.
Yeah.
By the way, turmoil with our Timberwolves. They had to.
I'll say.
They ran off an assistant coach today, Rick Brunson, apparently for sexual improprieties or aggressiveness with various females over there, including one media member. We don't know who. And a few years ago, he got off he actually went to trial for a sexual assault and got off it. And the Timberwolves brought it in, and Thibodeau brought him in a couple of years ago. So there'll probably be some questions to be answered.
Was he playing Command Rangoon or something? Or?
Don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Don't know how.
But he's not the only guy they dumped.
Well, they got rid of 3 other people, but those weren't really assistant coaches. Those were more staff helpers.
But they got rid of the AV guy from the AV
video
club.
guy, yeah, we're going to turn it around now.
That's what nobody can understand.
The
What did that guy
audio-visual
do?
guy?
Maybe he didn't know how to work the cassette machine.
Yeah, he could. I don't know. Maybe the boss didn't like him. They also got rid of a their shooting coach. I would have fired him too. The way that team shot, I would have fired him. He might not have anything to do with them, but I would have fired him.
They're not
They
shooting
couldn't
enough
shoot.
threes.
That's the one we could explain.
You mean
He
to
can't
tell
shoot.
me they got a shooting coach?
Well, they
Gotta
need a
have a
shooting
shooting
coach.
coach.
God, I guess you.
I mean,
They're out there.
Joe, shooting is very important in basketball.
I understand
Hudson
that.
has proved
if
that.
you throw the ball up there and it doesn't go in, you're going to lose.
Right.
Yeah, but you're supposed to know how to shoot.
They should bring in Rookie as a consultant.
The double pump layup.
Let's go.
That,
Guys, it
double
goes like
pumper.
this. People will not believe that you can do that to your body every time.
Carl Anthony Towns takes his game to the next level,
But
courtesy of
supposedly
the double
one of
pump.
these guys was a buddy of Towns, but that's got to have nothing to do with it.
Isn't this an odd baseball schedule to play a day game today with an off day tomorrow?
I could explain that whole thing to you, how this came about.
Oh, okay.
We had the 18 interleague games, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they had it set up so that if you were the Mets, you had the Yankees, and you would play 3 games in one park and 3 in the other. And then they changed. They had 16 teams in the American League and 14 teams in the National League. Then they decided to put 15 teams in each league and have interleague play all season long, throughout the entire schedule. And you would then, if you were the Twins, the American League Central, one year you would play the 5 teams from the National League East. Next year you would play the 5 teams from the National League Central. Next team you'd play the 5 teams from the National League West. This would have meant that then you would not have had 2 out of 3 years, you would not have played your rival more than a 3-game series. You would not have played your rival home and away.
I'm sorry I brought this up.
Okay, you're the Yankees. You're in the East.
Here we go.
You're playing the National League National League Central. That's 15 games, three series, 3 times 5, 15. You got that.
I got
You're
that.
only playing 18. So you only got time. You only got room for 1 series with the Mets.
It's a lot of math.
So you'd be in Yankee Stadium one year and the New York Descents the other, and this Fred, whatever his name is a big buddy of Seal Leagues, and he whined like crazy. He wanted to have the Yankees in his ballpark every year. So then they changed it to 20 games, and they came up with these two-game series system, which is idiotic, but we did it because Bud wanted to take care of one of his buddies.
Sports Talk will return in just a moment. And now thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now.
Well, stocks bounced around quite a bit today. We had some gains, we had declines, and at the end of the day, the market was nearly flat. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 2 points, closing at 24,360. The NASDAQ Composite added just 1 point, while the S&P 500 fell less than 1 point. A health advocacy group says the U.S. is facing a growing national shortage of EpiPens and other allergic reaction treatments called epinephrine autoinjectors. People surveyed surveyed by the group reported back orders at pharmacies in major cities, extended delays in refilling prescriptions, and having to shop around at multiple pharmacies. The FDA said drug maker Mylan has continued to report adequate supply of EpiPens, but will monitor the situation. First, we had electric cars, then electric SUVs and trucks, and soon it will be RVs. Winnebago's first plug-in RV models are intended to be used locally for things like mobile classrooms, outreach vehicles, and bloodmobiles. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. We're going to let you go and check traffic here, and we're seeing the typical nonsense in the usual areas. This report sponsored by Wendy's. Northbound 35W, of course, troublesome. County C up to 694. Westbound 10 all bound up in Hardin Hills. County 96 up to 35W. And then westbound 10 also seeing bodacious brake bumping already between the Foley Redneck Bottleneck, the RNB as we call it, and Main Street up in Anoka. It's already a 20-minute drive, 35W to 169. Try the Wendy's Southwest Avocado Chicken Salad and the Southwest Avocado Chicken Sandwich. It's made with creamy avocados, Southwest Ranch, crispy applewood smoked bacon, and pepper jack cheese.
What do you think, Johnny? We got a little distraction going in here, so go get him, buddy.
Oh, thanks. That's
Wait, in that room or in this one?
Yeah, available. Distractions everywhere.
I think this is going to set a record for the number of times that rookie makes Kenny upset. That's my prediction.
It's cloudy and 68 degrees. The Twins defeat the St. Louis Cardinals. Fifth win in a row for the Twins. The final today, 7-1. Robbie Grossman, a 2-run double. Eduardo Escobar, a 2-run home run.
Oh, Eddie goes deep again, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
Homer.
That victory results in what cliche?
I have no idea.
The happy flight.
Oh, yeah, right. The happy flight. You
got to have the happy flight.
This is Twin Cities live show we're watching off the air.
Oh, no.
That's live, right now?
Yes.
So I could walk down there and I could wipe all of that crap off the table onto the floor and walk out of there.
You could.
And it would make it on the air.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be a fun last day of work.
Yeah, if that's what you know.
Oh, no, I got to look.
Okay.
They're making food of some.
It's nonsense. Stop doing that stuff.
Healthy. It's healthy stuff, is it?
It's ricotta cheese and crushed peas on bread.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You know, the wife is on a healthy diet. She got put on a healthy diet a few days ago.
How's that going?
She's doing fine, but I just don't like all that stuff in the taking up space in the refrigerator.
Where are my Diet Cokes? Where is the leftover spaghetti?
Yeah,
Does she traditionally fix dinner or lunch, that sort of thing for you? So does this mean she's now fixing you healthy meals?
No, hell no. Oh, she wouldn't even. No.
She usually makes meals for the guys from where the workers at Byerly's when he brings them home.
Although you're the curator for the BLTs in the house, are you not?
Yes, but those are off the menu now.
Oh, no.
So
Bacon's good for you.
Yeah, but not when you make the ricey one where you got to have peanut butter on the toast then.
And 16 slices of bacon. 2 is not really enough.
No.
Twins now move on to the West.
Pound of bacon, 2 sandwiches.
Right.
My wife's line is, this probably isn't on your diet, but here you go. I'm pretty sure she's trying to kill me.
Fatten up, honey.
Really, really good food. Yeah, and I have no willpower, so I dive right in.
Twins with tomorrow off, they then head to the West Coast where they will play the Angels over the weekend.
No, they're not. They don't then head to the West Coast.
They're heading now.
They'll be in the plane in about an hour. They'll be in Anaheim by 7. They'll be at Newport Beach by 9. They'll have a good time tomorrow. Lots of golf tomorrow.
News notes from today. A former Eden Prairie figure skating coach accused of sexually abusing a teen figure skater pleaded not guilty this morning to 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct. 47-year-old Thomas Incantalupo entered the pleas in Hennepin County Court. Prosecutors allege Incantalupo abused a figure skater for at least 2 years, starting when she was 14. He's facing 1 count of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, 4 counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. According to the complaint, the abuse started in 2015 when Incantalupo coached for the Eden Prairie Figure Skating Club. The club has since revoked his coaching privileges. St. Catherine's University expects to cut about 50 people from its faculty and staff in an effort to reflect recent changes in enrollment in programs.
In other words, their enrollment's down? Is that what they're telling us?
I think their enrollment is steady, but they have so many international students. I think they give away a lot of aid, so they might not be getting a lot of tuition.
What was the controversy that came up with them not too long ago?
Well, the president rejected all the women who showed up for the leadership conference because they weren't black.
Oh, yeah.
They were all white.
That's right.
What are you going to do, huh?
Yeah.
The cuts will come as St. Kate's officials review expenses
and that?
No, we had a little fun with that.
and the need to right-size academic programs as part of what they're calling a 10-year strategic plan. And after comparing
President of
St.
that
Kate's
college couldn't manage the third shift at an Arby's.
Actually, she does. The one up on Snelling and Shefford, that's a stone's throw away.
Is that
what a ridiculous position she took? I can't imagine. I can understand why the school's in trouble.
Is that also the place where Barney Fife shot himself? And that's right.
Out in the woods.
Yeah.
And then the gal started the fire, the little basket fire.
Oh, yeah, jihadist.
Yep.
Isn't that where we also had a big show there, didn't we? At St. Kate's?
Northrop Auditorium. We had
Long
the big
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
Who was that? Was it Sean Hannity?
Yeah.
It was Hannity.
Yeah.
And also on the St. Kate's campus, just off of Juneau and Fairview, if you dig deep enough, you will find Steve Mikulski's dirty underwear after his paper route because he had a little accident. he didn't quite.
This guy's got a life to live. Why do you always come up with this?
Right. I bet when they were digging up for those new apartments, they said, Larry, look at this.
Sure, Steve's happy he's shared that story.
Yeah, Steve didn't quite make it home.
Why would he
delivering
bury him?
papers on.
Why would he bury him?
I think
it's the environmentally friendly thing to do.
Yeah, so
I mean, did he think he was going to grow a tree?
I don't think he was thinking at the time. I think he was thinking, I'm not going to make
John
it
Haidt
home.
with the newscast.
I can go you one worse.
John Haidt just won't save himself.
I want to hear
Never
Kevin's
can
story.
save
Listen,
himself.
I can go one worse. It happened in my neighborhood last week. My neighbor reports to me he was looking out his front window.
My brother was over there?
A lady's walking her toddler, tiny little kid, down the street.
Oh, no. Throws the diaper just in the...
All of a sudden, she stops, takes the kid's pants off, picks the kid up. So she's the kid is kind of cradled in her arm, one arm under the back, one arm under the knee. The kid proceeds to do a number 2 on the boulevard. Mm-hmm. They finish it up. The lady wipes her hand on the grass, and they walk away.
Wow!
So
Didn't even bag it up. and then my neighbor goes, "Let's walk around front. I want to show you something." So we walk around to the front of his house. He goes, "What do you see over there on the corner? There's a little tiny construction site where the city's working on a curb and gutter or something.
Porta potty.
Right there on the corner, a porta potty.
You gotta be kidding.
Right there."
Well, I can't hold that against her.
Okay.
You ever want to go into one of those porta potties?
As opposed to wiping that with my hand, I would go in the porta potty.
The Hannity thing, though, at St. Kate's was one of my proudest moments when I said to all those Republicans, gay marriage, what do you think? You all for it here?
I think I asked Georgie that night on stage what she had on under her dress. She had given me some anti-anxiety medicine.
Why did we have Sean Hant? Did we have him on our air?
He was appearing. He did a speech or something at what is it on not Northrop? O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy Auditorium.
You might recall we had a little right-wing tint to our broadcast.
Yeah, but I don't think we had him.
No,
we had Rush.
But he filled the auditorium.
No, we had him on the air.
Hannity was on. Yeah.
Oh.
I recall that.
Joe for $1 million.
That's where I was walking in the front row, and I saw an old lady, and she looked familiar to me, and I asked her who she was, and I said, "Are you Sister Mary Ellen?" She was my second grade teacher, and she remembered me, and she said, "What do you do now?" And she said, "You're the one that's on the radio." Oh, that was very charming. It's not a great story, but Sister Mary Ellen
really wasn't.
A right-wing nun.
Yeah, let's go, sis.
And if I remember right after that, you, me, and a couple of other people went back to your house and got plowed.
We did. We went on the garage, on the deck on the garage.
And anyway, John,
as expected, President Trump.
Plowed.
President Trump declaring today
Let's go get that underwear.
pulling the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal.
Georgie
Calling it
changed her
one-sided.
clothes in my truck. She changed clothes in the front seat of my truck.
The president's announcement, while long anticipated and widely telegraphed, puts America's relations with European allies into uncertainty. They've committed, of course, of staying in the deal, raising the prospect of a diplomatic and economic clash as the U.S. reimposes sanctions on Iran. In a joint statement after President Trump's announcement, President Emmanuel Macron of France, Prime Minister Theresa May of Britain, Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany urged Iran to continue to meet its obligations under the deal despite the American withdrawal. Also raises the prospect of increasing tensions with Russia and China, which are also parties to
You know, Kenny, it's just a short walk down to Randolph. They put him right in the corner.
Just a week after the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences gave Bill Cosby and Roman Polanski the boot per its new standards of conduct, the 84-year-old director is threatening to take legal action to reverse that decision. In a letter to the Academy's president, John Bailey, Polanski's attorney explained the decision was made in violation of the organization's standards of conduct as well as California state law. He says Polanski should have been given a fair hearing in which he could explain his side of the story before being expelled. Polanski, of course, won the Academy Award for Best Director.
He could explain his side, but he couldn't do it in Hollywood, right? Isn't he still in France?
He's yes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sue, though, to stay in a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of dims it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
John, are you done?
Sure.
What if they throw you out of the paddock? Are you going to sue?
They should, based on this.
You know, I was looking back on that last segment. I didn't finish one news story.
Oh, okay.
I just by the time they got three
Well, they weren't
sentences
that
in.
interesting.
I didn't finish all my stories either.
Well, I thought the one about possible nuclear holocaust was interesting. So,
In Omaha, Nebraska, when Kendra Jackson first got her runny nose, she thought it was a cold symptom, but it continued. In fact, it continued for years, along with other symptoms, including coughing, sneezing, and headaches. Everywhere I went, she told KETV, I always had a box of puff stuffed in my pocket. It was like a waterfall continuously. Doctors kept telling her she had a lot of allergies, and she thought it was more. Finally, she got an answer. It was diagnosed. She has a brain fluid leak.
I don't do that.
Diagnosed with cerebrospinal fluid leak at Nebraska Medicine. Fluid from her brain was leaking out her
how
nose.
much did she have in there? She must have really been a brilliant person at one time.
How do you stop it?
You know,
from
that
leaking?
sounds totally made up.
It's not. The
No,
story.
I've heard of this.
I'm not. No.
I've heard of this. You can get this.
Thumbs down. I'm
What happened to her,
rejecting it.
John? They plug it up somehow?
They did. The team discovered Jackson was losing about a half pint of her cerebral spinal fluid per day through the nose. The team was able to go in through her nose.
Half pint.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What,
about
lot,
1 inch
isn't it?
tall.
That's a lot.
Yeah, obviously, you must continue to make this stuff.
yeah,
right?
it continues to.
Otherwise, you'd be out by now, I would think.
The team was able to go
Is
in.
it valuable? Can you sell it?
Obviously, you need some, pal. Oh, the team was able to go in through Jackson's nose, use angled cameras and instruments to use her fatty tissue to plug up the hole between her skull and nostrils that was allowing the leak. She said her symptoms started a couple years after she suffered head trauma in a car accident, hitting her face on the dashboard. She said, before this new surgery, I couldn't sleep. I was like a zombie. But now I don't have to carry tissue around anymore, and I'm getting lots of
Good. I
sleep.
think that's
Well,
a
that's
feel-good
great,
story,
but now I got
Johnny.
a question. She was so accustomed to having this fluid leave her body.
Yeah.
Now her head's going to be about the size of a Volkswagen.
My head.
Yeah, he brings up a good question.
Now where's it supposed to go?
Where does it normally go?
Probably doesn't reproduce.
Yeah, John, where?
Do I look like a doctor?
Yes.
Well, you made the story up. You could make up the
Didn't make up the story.
Get your smock on and tell us what's going on.
In Racine, Wisconsin, a woman stopped
Home of Craig Leopold.
Okay.
stopped at the new BP gas
And
station.
90% of the meth produced in Wisconsin also.
Johnson Wax.
Stopped at the new BP gas station. It's at the corner of West Ryan Road and South Howell Avenue in Oak Creek. The problem is she filled up her car, but the gas station's not open yet. She pumped
Really?
6 gallons of gas into her vehicle.
Oh, my God. I would call everybody I know.
Well, they had not set the pumps yet, so she was charged more than $60 for the 6 gallons of gas.
Oh, she was still charged.
When the woman went into the store to complain about the amount of... Well, no, there was a clerk there. They were putting the building together, basically. Clerk told her that the gas station wasn't open yet for business. She went just before noon on May 4th, bought 6.46 gallons of gasoline at $9.99 per gallon.
This is almost, Joe, who was the guy that had the reverse drive-off?
The woman told the clerk and later the police that she didn't realize the price sign wasn't on, nor that the store was not open. She said she realized the price was $9.99 a gallon and stopped filling her vehicle at that point.
That was a good move.
Police told the woman she'll have to dispute the charge on her credit card and also with her bank because they can't do anything about it.
Do any of you guys prepay or do the pay at the pump deal?
Sometimes.
I never do.
We all do.
Why
I'm cash
because
only. I've never paid at
There's
the pump.
one
and
guy
I'm
in
not prepaying.
America that doesn't.
And me.
Why would you go inside?
Because you know that those credit card readers are the number one rip-off joints in the world, right?
Oh, who cares? Jeez.
I only go where I'm allowed to just pump and go in and pay.
Attaboy.
Okay, Grandpa.
I'm getting some phone messages from my brother Steve. Oh, no. A couple different ones. Gee, thanks, Matt. He said, didn't hear it, but my phone sure is busy. And he says, I think at this point the socks and underpants would have blended with Mother Earth, and it was about 1973.
Oh,
Socks, too, huh? So it really was a problem.
he really made a mess.
He had a bad day.
So not even the poor listens to this show, huh?
Well, that was Steve. That's the older one.
Okay.
He's the dumb
not
one.
The poor.
He's the dumb one.
Paul's the poor.
Paul's the poor.
Okay.
He needed a towel.
A Florida woman.
And a garden hose.
A Florida woman was arrested this past Friday after cops said she falsely called 911 twice, claiming a medical emergency when what she actually needed was just some beer.
I desperately tried to find the audio on this.
I did too, actually. Turns out Jennifer Sue Roberts' emergency was just a need for beer. The 57-year-old called 911 twice just after 12 noon and just before 4 p.m., claiming she had a medical emergency, according to the Tampa Bay Times. She reportedly appeared intoxicated when paramedics arrived after the second call. Dallas County Sheriff's Office records indicate Roberts, who also reportedly goes by the name Jennifer Sue Sunday, has been accused numerous times of dialing 911 without an emergency. This time, according to the affidavit, she just told police she needed some beer.
Okay.
All I got is these
All I
beers.
got is this beer. I kind of like that story.
What's
Kenny.
her first?
You
What's
like
her?
that one?
What's her pseudonym?
Jennifer Sue Sunday?
That's a good name. That's
Jennifer Sue Sunday.
Yep.
Ian McEwen.
Sounds like she'd read your palms, doesn't it?
Not
Ian-
if you saw her picture.
Yeah, you wouldn't want her to read your poems. Ian McEwen is a novelist, apparently
I'll say.
of some note. You know him, Joe?
Yeah.
You're aware of him? Okay, I don't know him. I don't know him. Huh. Oh, of course. Okay.
We're awfully feisty today over
We
here.
really are, I tell you. Ian is telling the story about once he had to help his son do his homework. The assignment was based on one of McEwen's own novels, and his son received only a C+ for their mutual efforts. McEwen told the Daily Mail about his work adapting his work on Chesil Beach for the screen.
Well, isn't that cheating if you're doing a book report on your own book?
Well, he only got a C+. Toward the end of the piece, the subject turned toward how often McEwen's writing is assigned to students. He shared he's not too sure about that. He said, I always feel a little dubious about people being made to read my books. He says, especially if it's his youngest son, Greg, who was obliged to write an A-level essay on the book Enduring Love. Compelled to read his dad's book, he says, poor guy, I confess I did give him a tutorial, told him what he should consider when he read the book. I didn't read his essay, but it turned out his teacher disagreed with me fundamentally. He ended up with a C+.
It's like when Gretzky and his kid were at the Hockey Hall of Fame, and the kid working where the citizens could go and take a shot at the net, and the kid working there told this Gretzky how to hold his stick. And Gretzky said, I think if you look it up, there's about 866 of these in there somewhere.
I wrote a composition for Ryan once, and he was about a ninth grader, and he got a C because the sentences were too short, she said.
Hey, did you two?
I'm to the point.
Did you two know Al Sickerman at all?
Oh, yes.
I did, sure.
Was he a normal guy, or was he kind of a left of center, kind of weird?
I'd say he was eclectic.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad guy.
I had a very in-depth dream this afternoon about Al Sickerman. I never met him. I didn't know him.
What?
And,
why would that come
and
up?
during the dream, I was thinking, man, dude, you are weird. I'm going to hang out with you for a long time. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, that was a really weird dream. I wonder if Al, in fact, was a little weird.
Hey, man, you want to bike over and find Steve's underpants?
Well, what can you put it together in your mind how that came about?
I was on 694 investigating some kind of crash, and I came upon Al Sickerman's house. And next thing
No. What made you?
Why did you dream about
What happened yesterday or today that you would have had him on your mind?
I had no idea. I haven't thought about him since I read his obituary last fall.
Oh my God, that's
but he was
strange.
in my dream. He was a lovable weirdo.
I would love that dream.
I just wanted to spend time with him.
Hands.
Jim Cott on baseball. That's always good. And Bob Herrig live from the Players, the ESPN golf columnist, will be our guest
This really
today.
has become essentially a major.
Yes, it is. It's a very difficult golf course with a fantastic field and the only one of the big five that we get to see on the same golf course every year.
I'm
the Masters and that one.
Turns out I have a buddy who's there. I've been getting texts and pictures from the Players all day.
Is that right?
All day.
And is it a bluebird down there?
Beautiful, but wind appears to be howling.
Going back to March in 20 or next year, is it 19?
I don't know, but
It's going back to
March.
March, and the PGA is going to be in May.
Yeah.
It's going to take some getting used to, that will, that's for sure.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis at 63 degrees.